Hey everyone, I get this question all of the time. Ian, how do you know when to buy a particular dividend stock? I own 40 dividend stocks at any given time. How do I know which ones to buy? And I actually bought a few stocks back just a few months ago now that have recovered quite a bit. I want to discuss those in today's video. I'm actually going to answer this question over the course of a few videos, but I want to talk today about the specifics of these two recent examples and how I knew to buy, why I bought them when they were down, and what has happened since I have purchased those stocks. I'm actually talking about General Mills, ticker GIS, and another one, BTI. So let's get started with an exciting dividend stock video. All right, everyone. So I got to first gloat a little bit here. I am really happy with my call to purchase General Mills. I'm even happier with my call to stay away from Kraft-Heinz and to avoid getting pulled into this Warren Buffett investing trap. Although my heart does go out to everyone in the community. I know a lot of people love Kraft-Heinz, and so I do wish everyone the best, but I won't be buying any Kraft-Heinz. I've kind of made up my mind, unless this thing really dips low, maybe down into the 20s. But anyways, I started buying General Mills. I've been averaging in over the last year. I started buying this one in 2018. And in fact, I have purchased a lot of my shares in the $30 range, the high 30s, and also the low 40s. This thing is now at $48.29 off of a low of $36.42. It's up 33% in terms of stock price, and this is just within the last year. And so with General Mills, it's interesting. They had a quarterly earnings report. Last quarter, it was really good, and now they just announced their Q3 earnings report, and again, it was good. Because the company has had a few good earnings reports behind it, the stock has been recovering, and I'm really excited to see that. I don't really care about the capital appreciation at all. It does make me feel good, but I'm more excited that the capital appreciation, it's a reflection of the company doing well, of it gaining traction and doing well. You compare and contrast that with Warren Buffett and his KHC, it is night and day. And so, boy, I'm so happy just to stay away from that financial engineering game that goes on with these big time investors. Anyways, done with my gloating here. General Mills, what happened? Well, a few things. Their earnings per share for Q3 of their earnings, their fiscal Q3, came in at 83 cents per share. This is first an analyst estimate of 69 cents. They did 14 cents better than analyst expectations. So they hit the ball out of the park on earnings per share. The Blue Buffalo acquisition is going really well. Their profits, their net earnings for the year, they're now expected to be up 1%. This is good because previously they were expected to be down 3%. So the company is gaining traction. The earnings are growing again. Organic sales are expected to be flat to up 1% year over year. Operating profit is expected to be up 6 to 9% year over year. And so the company is doing well. And because the company is doing well, the stock price is starting to recover. It's at $48. As I mentioned, it's up 33% from the low. Starting yield is still okay. The starting dividend yield is still a 4.1%, which is respectable, but I am not buying any more now. I've averaged in. I've bought a lot of General Mills. I bought many times. It now comprises about 0.8% of my portfolio. It'll get up to 1% probably over time as just the stock recovers. I expect this one to continue to recover. I will still reinvest my dividends back into purchasing more shares of the stock, but I won't be buying more General Mills. And so why did I buy General Mills? How did I know to buy General Mills? Basically, when I have identified a stock that I like, a stock that meets my criteria, or a stock even that I already own, I just look at the chart. And so again, I'll go into more details on how I know when to buy in future videos, but I want to talk about just some of the first screens that I do here. And one of the first screens I do is I just literally look at the chart. It's really easy. It's really simple. Is the stock down? Is it down a lot? Is it falling? When the stock is falling, there's a lot of bad news. A lot of people get scared. I actually look at these stocks and I start buying. I like to buy when the chart is down. And so if you're at home, you're thinking, when should I buy? one of the first screens that I do is literally, once I've identified a stock that I really like, is I literally look at the stock chart, and if it's way down, I will probably start buying. Like General Mills is at like multi-year lows, is doing very poorly. That's when I bought. And now, if a stock has gone up, say a few 100%, and then it corrects 10% or something, that's not my definition of a stock going down. I'm talking about when I look at a chart like General Mills and the thing literally has cratered, it's fallen way down. Oftentimes that is a buy signal for me, as long as all of the other factors, the fundamentals are still sound, and I still like the fundamentals. I still have a solid investment thesis behind buying that company. It's as simple for me as oftentimes just looking at the chart. And I follow all my stocks, all my 40 stocks, dividend paying stocks on a regular basis. And I always look at the ones, when is the market getting fearful? When is Mr. Market getting emotional? When are others getting fearful? That's when I get greedy. That's bringing it full circle to Warren Buffett again. I do subscribe to that mantra that he often teaches about, and this goes back to Benjamin Graham and the teachings that Buffett learned from him, but being greedy when others are fearful. And so one of the other things in general is just I like to follow my gut. And so my gut told me, look, all of these consumer packaged goods, food companies are down. I own two of them actually, Campbell's Soup and General Mills. And I was thinking, should I add Kraft-Heinz? You guys have been following my saga here on my channel. I didn't buy Kraft-Heinz, and I'm glad I didn't. I followed my gut. And so that's part of it as well, as I look at the stock chart, but it has to feel right. I should feel a little scared, but not too scared. And so it's just having that emotional awareness. Maybe this comes because I've been investing for over 20 years, but I have this emotional awareness now where if a stock is down, but I still kind of feel good about it, I go for it. But if a stock like Kraft-Heinz, it's way down, but my gut says it just ain't right, it's just not right, I don't go for it. And so a lot of it comes down to the gut as well. But I am so excited about General Mills. I'm happy here to report good news to the community, because I know a lot of you in General Mills are probably wondering, is it going to follow suit to Kraft-Heinz? I don't think it is at this point. I don't think it is. I think they have managed their company well. They have stayed clear of accounting scandals. They've stayed clear of wacky financial engineering. They've stayed clear of a lot of stuff. And so I'm pleased that I followed my gut and that I just followed the stock chart and literally went for it when it was down. And what's funny is each year, different stocks will be down. Last year, in 2018, I was buying a lot of Procter & Gamble. One of my subscribers actually just reported that, hey, Procter & Gamble, it's kind of hitting new highs now. It just, I think, broke through $100 per share. I was buying in 2018 when everyone didn't like it. I'm not really buying Procter & Gamble now in 2019 when everyone loves it. It's just not my thing. I like to buy when the charts look bad. By the way, in terms of full disclosure, I am long Procter & Gamble, ticker symbol PG, General Mills, ticker symbol GIS, and Campbell's Soup, ticker symbol CPB. I own those in my personal stock portfolio. Just mentioning this now because I don't know if I'm going to remember all of these by the end of the video, because I'm filming in my car today. Don't have my whiteboard, and so I don't know if I'm going to remember all of that, so I just want to get that out of the way. But I thought my subscriber on Twitter, actually, I'll link in the description below if you want to engage with me on Twitter. Got some really good conversations going on there with members of the PPC Ian community. But I thought it was interesting they pointed out, like Procter & Gamble, it's fully recovered, but back in 2018 it was doing really poorly. And so that's just what's funny is I literally, it sounds kind of too basic. It sounds like, Ian, is that really what you do? Sounds like it's not very sophisticated. And you know what? You're right. It's not very sophisticated, but literally just looking at the stock chart, it really helps me out a lot. But I'll tell you where it gets sophisticated. It's when you layer on that emotional intelligence. It's when you layer on that experience that I have to combine my gut with the stock chart. And that's what I would just say. It just takes years of experience, because my gut literally told me, Ian, double down in Procter & Gamble in 2018. Ian, start doubling down, or initiate a position General Mills and then double down in it as long as it's low. Ian, stay away from that Kraft-Heinz. You're kind of on the fence, but your gut's saying no, stay away. And so that's where I guess it gets a little bit more complex when I look at the chart, but I have to layer that experience on top of it. All right, everyone, I want to transition into another stock. This is BTI, ticker symbol BTI. In terms of full disclosure, I own that stock as well. I mentioned on my YouTube channel, and I will link in the description below, I was buying BTI a few times recently, earlier this year, I think even in late last year. I'll link in the description below to the video that I did about that. And this thing was just hammered. It was trading really low at as low as $30.67. It's now back up to $42.20. So in terms of capital appreciation, it's up 37% from the low. And it's still yielding 6.4%, but it was yielding more. It was yielding 8+%. If you guys have been following my channel for a while, you know I am the original Sin stock investor. I will link in the description below. Thug life. I own all the Sin stocks. I did a whole guide on Sin stocks. I didn't even want to buy more Sin stocks, but I bought BTI because it was on such bargain basement discount. Anyways, I knew to do this, again, based on gut, based on the chart. Just the thing fell off a cliff. Cash flow is pretty good. Not only pretty good, it's amazing. And they're yielding upwards of 8%. To me, that's just a no-brainer. Buy it, run towards it, get greedy when everyone else is fearful. I know in the long run that things will work out because the whole Sin stock industry, it's been through this cycle so many times. Been there, done that, been through it all. I've been through all the big milestones in the industry enough times to see what will end up happening. And lo and behold, it's recovering. And I would say one of the key reasons that it's recovering is you have to look at the macro picture here. You have to realize an investor, it's more than just the company. We're talking about the economy. We're talking about politics. We're talking about geopolitics. And these Sin stocks, they generate a lot of revenue. They generate a lot of tax revenue, a lot of excise taxes, all kinds of revenue for governments. And the government doesn't want to hurt or harm these companies too much. And what happened is there was this guy in the FDA, Mr. Gottlieb, and Mr. Gottlieb was getting a little aggressive with some of these companies, especially would have affected BTI. And what happened, unexpectedly, after reaching head of the FDA, a pinnacle in his career, Mr. Gottlieb says, hey, I'm going to resign, and I'm going to resign because, I just want to spend more time with my family. Oh, doesn't that sound coincidental? I don't know what really happened here, but Mr. Gottlieb stepping down, to me, that sounds very much like there's probably more going on behind the scenes. I didn't really foreshadow that would have happened, but I kind of knew, look, these companies have made it through so much. I think they'll make it through this. And lo and behold, he's gone. They're going to find someone else to step into the FDA. And they've got a temporary person right now. And we'll see what happens. But I have to imagine the next person that's appointed in the FDA will be a little bit more cautious, a little bit more careful, to be even-minded, to be more even-tempered when it comes to these companies, realizing that, hey, I'm not just going to attack all of these companies. I'm going to do what's best for the consumer, but I'm also going to do what's best for the government and for the political situation as well. And so anyways, I didn't foreshadow that all of that was going to happen, but I certainly knew, hey, this thing is down. Everyone hates it. Everyone thinks it's going to go under. FDA is on their back, so on and so forth. And so I bought a little bit more. And so again, just look at the stock chart. When things are tanking, I like to run towards them. And so anyways, just a fun video today on when I know how to buy. Look, this isn't the only reason. Of course, I do fundamental analysis as well, but I'm telling you, once I own 40 stocks, I've already done the fundamental analysis on all of them. A lot of it comes down to just looking at the charts when things are out of favor and then layering my intuition on top of it. Before I close today, a fun fact. If you watch my last video, I'll link in the description below. I've been selling some items on eBay to generate more money to invest in the stock market. I'm going to use my proceeds to buy some PepsiCo, ticker symbol PEP. In terms of full disclosure, I own Pepsi. I'm long PepsiCo. I own that one in my personal stock portfolio. Anyways, a update for you guys. On the last video, we were taking some guesses on how much these items would sell for. My items generated $576.22. Cost me $88.43 to ship them out via priority mail to the lucky winners. I did all of that this morning. My net profit on those sales was $487.79. I'm going to round that up to $500, and I'm going to deploy $500 into Pepsi. May not sound like a lot of money, not a life-changing amount of money. Certainly not going to make or break my portfolio, but it's all about keeping that momentum in the stock market. And I've had a lot of expensive home repairs lately, some home projects as well that we started before the repairs, and so the expenses are adding up. And happy to generate that extra $500 that I can deploy into PepsiCo while decluttering my home. And so I know a lot of you guys were guessing, wondering how much my items would fetch on eBay. Now you know. It's actually a little better than I expected, so I'm going to probably look around my house. I've got more items I just don't need, and want to declutter, want to live a more minimalistic lifestyle, keep the house really pristine, free of items I just am not going to wear. So I'll probably list a few more things on eBay. I'm really excited about that. That's a new avenue that I have to generate just a little extra cash to deploy into dividend-paying stocks. So what do you guys think? Did you buy any General Mills? Did you buy any BTI? What do you think about those companies and others? How do you know when to buy? How have you built up your own intuition over the years? Share in the comments below. We have a thriving community here. I love you guys. I love you guys. I am so thankful, so blessed to have this growing YouTube channel. We have the best community ever. We're dividend investors supporting other dividend investors. Hope I did not insult you if you own Kraft-Heinz. I love you guys if you own Kraft-Heinz. I wish you all the best in that stock. I wish you a full recovery. And let's just keep the conversation going in the comments section. Before I leave today, in terms of full disclosure, I mentioned the stocks already throughout the video that I own. I own all of the stocks that I mentioned throughout the video. I'm long on those stocks in my personal stock portfolio. In terms of a friendly disclaimer, I am not a licensed investment advisor. Today's video is not investment advice. Today's video is just for your fun and entertainment. If you're going to go out and invest in the stock market or anywhere else, please consult a licensed financial advisor first. Literally just sharing my personal journey here on YouTube for fun and entertainment. All right, everyone. I'll see you in the next dividend investing video.